Hello, I'm Dr. Ethan Spencer, and I'm genuinely thrilled you're joining me today. If you're over 60, what I'm about to share could completely transform the way you sleep, restore your energy, and help you regain control over your nights. Whether you've just discovered this channel or you've been with us for a while, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now because here, we don't settle for aging the hard way, we age smart. And if you give this video a like, it tells YouTube to show it to more people who, just like you, deserve real answers. Now, before we dive in, I want you to do something simple. Take a deep breath, let your shoulders drop, because today, we're not just talking about symptoms, we're talking about solutions. Do you ever wake up multiple times at night just to go to the bathroom? Maybe once, twice, even 3 or more times. You may have blamed it on getting older, but I'm here to tell you, that doesn't have to be your normal. This condition called nocturia is more than a nuisance. It disrupts your deep sleep, drains your energy, impacts your balance, and has even been linked to a higher risk of falls and cognitive decline in seniors. Most people think this is just an unavoidable part of aging, but that's not true. The truth is, there are 5 extremely common habits that quietly cause or worsen nocturia, and most of them happen hours before your head hits the pillow. According to recent studies, up to 78% of adults over 60 make at least one of these mistakes every single evening. But the good news is, these habits can be changed. Today, I'll show you exactly what they are and what to do instead so you can finally enjoy deep, uninterrupted sleep. No gimmicks, no hype, just real, practical strategies that I've taught to thousands of patients over the last 15 years. So if you're tired of cutting back on fluids, missing social events, or planning your evenings around the bathroom, stay with me. Let's get you back in control. Now, let's start with the first habit, and trust me, this one might sound simple, but the impact is massive. Habit 1. Consuming liquids within 3 hours of bedtime. Expanded. Let's be honest, when we think of fluids before bed, we usually just think of that glass of water. But the reality is, your kidneys don't care whether that liquid came from a bottle, a bowl of soup, a juicy orange, or even a bedtime herbal tea. They process it all the same. And when you give them extra work right before sleep, they'll wake you up to finish the job. Here's the science. Your body produces a hormone called vasopressin at night, which naturally tells your kidneys to slow down urine production. But when you drink or eat fluids late in the evening, that system gets overridden. The kidneys stay active, your bladder fills up, and your sleep gets interrupted. Take Helen, a 74-year-old from Tampa, Florida. For over 6 years, she thought, her nightly wake-ups were just part of aging. She'd even reduced her water intake, but was still waking up 3 to 4 times each night. The real problem, her harmless bowl of chicken broth at dinner and the peppermint tea she sipped during her evening TV time. Once she learned about hidden liquid sources and cut them off 3 hours before bed, her bathroom visits dropped to just once a night in only 10 days, and that improvement didn't stop at sleep. Helen reported better focus during the day, fewer headaches, and she even started walking in the mornings, against something she hadn't done in years. So here's what I recommend. Set a fluid cutoff time, ideally 3 hours before bed. If your bedtime is 10 p.m., stop consuming any drinks or high-water foods by 7 p.m. Watch out for sneaky sources, herbal teas, soups, fruit with high-water content like watermelon, cantaloupe, grapes, and even yogurt or smoothies. If you need to take nighttime medications with a sip of water, that's fine, but limit it to the smallest amount needed. And yes, even healthy drinks like celery juice, coconut water, or chamomile tea can disrupt your sleep. Save them for earlier in the day. It's also important to note that many medications, including blood pressure pills or diuretics, can increase thirst. If that's the case for you, talk to your healthcare provider about adjusting the timing of those meds earlier in the day. Helen shared something powerful with me during her follow-up. She said, "Dr. Spencer, I thought I'd never sleep through the night again. But now, I wake up just once, or not at all, and I feel like a different person." That's the kind of change we're aiming for. And it starts with this first step: respecting the power of your evening hydration choices. Habit 2. Sitting for too long in the evening. Expanded. Let's move on to the second hidden habit that quietly worsens nighttime urination, and this one surprises almost everyone. It's not about what you drink, it's about how long you sit. Yes, Something as simple as sitting for extended periods, especially after dinner, can significantly increase your chances of waking up at night to use the bathroom. When you're seated for hours, particularly in a reclined or slouched position, your legs begin to retain fluid. It's a natural part of aging. Circulation slows, and gravity pulls fluids down to your lower extremities. You may not even notice it, no obvious swelling, no discomfort, but that fluid is waiting. Then what happens? You lie down in bed. The fluid that accumulated in your legs now re-enters circulation and is processed by your kidneys, leading to a full bladder in the middle of the night. Let me introduce you to George Day, a 78-year-old retired history teacher from Denver. George loved his evenings watching classic films in his favorite recliner with a light snack. But for years he was waking up at 2 a.m. and again at 4:30 a.m. every single night. He assumed it was just his bladder aging. When we looked closer, we realized that George was sitting for nearly 5 hours straight every night from dinner until bedtime with minimal movement. I gave him one simple challenge: set a reminder every 45 minutes to stand up and take a few steps, even if it was just walking to the kitchen and back. He also began elevating his legs for 15 minutes around 7 p.m., allowing excess fluid to redistribute before bedtime. The result? Within a week, George's 2 a.m. bathroom trip disappeared, and by week 3, he was sleeping from 10:30 p.m. to 5:30 a.m. with zero interruptions. Here's what you can do. Set movement reminders during your evening routine. Every 30 to 45 minutes, stand up, stretch, walk a few steps. It doesn't have to be intense, just enough to keep circulation going. Elevate your legs for 15 to 20 minutes between dinner and bedtime. Prop them on a pillow or ottoman while sitting flat but above heart level if possible. Avoid recliners that encourage your feet to be level with or below your body for hours. They might be comfortable, but they silently worsen fluid retention. A 2021 study from the University of Tokyo found that seniors who incorporated just 15 minutes of light movement in the evening had 35% fewer nighttime urination events compared to those who remained seated. Sometimes it's not about doing more, it's about doing differently. And in George's case, just a few changes gave him back his peaceful nights. Now, let's explore habit number 3. This one's connected to something millions of people consume daily, thinking it helps them sleep better. Habit 3. Evening alcohol consumption expanded. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but a small glass of wine helps me relax before bed. And while that may feel true in the moment, the long-term effects of alcohol in the evening do the exact opposite, especially when it comes to your bladder and sleep cycles. Alcohol is a double-edged sword. On one hand, can make you fall asleep faster, but on the other hand, it disrupts deep sleep, increases urine production, and irritates the bladder wall. That combination leads to shallow rest, light sleep stages, and you guessed it, bathroom visits. Let's talk about Nora, a 69-year-old artist from Santa Fe, New Mexico. She'd always enjoyed a glass of red wine while painting in the evening, her moment of peace. But she also suffered from frequent nighttime awakenings, which she believed were due to anxiety or hormones. When she came to see me, I asked her to try a 2-week experiment. Replace her evening wine with a calming, non-alcoholic option. She chose a lavender-infused sparkling water. During that period, she not only stopped waking up multiple times, but also reported more vivid dreams and less grogginess in the morning. Here's why that happened. Alcohol suppresses vasopressin, the hormone that normally slows urine production during sleep. It also acts as a diuretic, pulling water out of your body faster than usual. And finally, alcohol causes the bladder muscles to become more active, leading to sudden urges, even when the bladder isn't full. If you truly enjoy an evening beverage, try alternatives like sparkling water with citrus or herbs, chamomile, valerian root, or lemon balm teas, served earlier in the evening. Warm almond or oat milk with cinnamon, which may promote melatonin production naturally. A study from the National Sleep Foundation showed that people over 60 who consumed alcohol within 3 hours of bedtime had a 68% higher chance of waking to urinate at least twice per night compared to non-drinkers. Nora told me, "I didn't realize how much my little ritual was costing me. Now I still relax, but I sleep through the night, and my mornings are clear again." It's not about giving up what you enjoy, it's about upgrading your habits to support the life you want. Habit 4. Drinking the wrong fluids before bed expanded. Most people assume that the best way to prevent nighttime urination is to simply stop drinking water after a certain hour. But here's the truth. It's not just about how late you drink, it's about what you drink. The type of fluid you consume in the evening plays a massive role in how your bladder behaves overnight. Meet Walter, a 74-year-old retired pharmacist from St. Louis. Walter was very disciplined about his health. He stopped drinking water at 6 p.m. sharp and avoided caffeine altogether. But every single night, like clockwork, he still woke up at 1:15 a.m. and again at 4:10 a.m. to use the bathroom. When we looked deeper into his routine, we discovered the real issue. Walter drank a cup of hot lemon water before bed, thinking it was hydrating and soothing. But here's the problem. Lemon is a natural bladder irritant. It stimulates the bladder lining and causes urgency, even when there's not much urine present. And lemon isn't the only culprit. Other common healthy nighttime beverages that can irritate your bladder include citrus juices, orange, grapefruit, lemon-based drinks, tomato-based drinks, or soups, artificial sweeteners found in sugar-free drinks, carbonated water, yes, even the plain ones, certain herbal teas like peppermint or hibiscus, which can act as diuretics. What helped Walter wasn't just cutting his fluids, it was switching to the right kind. I recommended he sip a small cup of warm chamomile tea around 7:30 p.m. and drink just a few ounces of plain water at dinner. After 1 week, his 1:15 a.m. trip disappeared. By week 2, he slept until dawn, and, most importantly, he stopped dreading bedtime. What you drink after dinner does matter, but instead of cutting all liquids, which can lead to dehydration and even constipation, choose bladder-friendly options that calm your system, not irritate it. And if you need a guide, here's a simple rule. Avoid acidic, sweetened, or carbonated drinks within 3 hours of bed. Favor warm, non-caffeinated herbal teas, and keep total fluid intake in the evening light, but not zero. Sometimes what feels like a small choice, a cup of tea, a glass of juice, can either disrupt or restore your rest. Walter made that choice, and now, every morning feels like a fresh start. Now, let's get to the final habit. It's something many people think they're doing right, but one small mistake turns it into a silent trigger. Habit 5. Sleeping in a cold room without adjusting body temperature. Expanded. Let's talk about temperature. More specifically, the temperature of your environment and your body before bedtime. This habit is incredibly common, and yet it quietly causes sleep disruption, bladder overactivity, and shallow rest. Many people over 60 are advised to sleep in a cool room to improve sleep quality, and that's solid advice. Cooler environments signal your body to produce melatonin, the sleep hormone. But here's the trap. If your core body temperature drops too low, especially around the bladder and lower abdomen, the detrusor muscles, those that control urination, become more sensitive. That's why some people find themselves waking up, not because the bladder is full, but because the cold triggers bladder activity. Let me introduce Linda, a 72-year-old grandmother from Vermont. She always kept her bedroom at a brisk 64 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius, wore light pajamas, and avoided heavy blankets. "I sleep better in the cold," she told me. But she didn't realize that her frequent nighttime trips were more about her body temperature than her hydration or habits. We made 2 small adjustments. She began using a heating pad on her lower abdomen for 10 minutes before bed. She switched to a weighted blanket that retained warmth, but still allowed airflow. In less than a week, Linda's sleep improved. Not only did her bladder urgency decrease, but she reported deeper, dream-filled sleep and less tossing and turning. Here's what's happening physiologically when the lower abdomen stays too cold. Blood vessels constrict, which can miscommunicate signals to the bladder. Cold triggers a mild stress response in the body, which can spike cortisol and interfere with melatonin. And even mild discomfort from cold can make it harder to stay in deep sleep phases. If you sleep in a cool room which is healthy, make sure your body is properly insulated. Use thick socks or thermal slippers, pajamas that cover the abdomen and legs, heated blankets or pre-warmed bedding, or a quick warm shower before bed to raise skin temperature gently. The goal is balance. Let your room be cool, but keep you warm. That's the secret. Linda told me last month, for the first time in years, I slept 8 hours straight and woke up smiling. Sometimes the answer isn't louder or bigger, it's warmer. So let's recap. If you're tired of waking up at night, feeling groggy, frustrated, or like your body just won't cooperate, know this: there's a path forward. And it doesn't involve medications, surgeries, or invasive treatments. It's about habits. Tiny changes that create massive shifts over time, like standing up every hour, choosing a different tea, elevating your legs, warming your body. These small actions, practiced daily, can give you back your nights and your mornings. And I want you to remember something important. Sleep is not just a luxury. It's a foundation of healing. And your body, no matter your age, is still capable of healing. I'm Dr. Ethan Spencer, and I believe in practical, natural, science-backed solutions. If this video helped you, or if you know someone who wakes up tired every day, share this with them. Let's help more people reclaim their rest. And if you want to go deeper, subscribe to the channel, because your health journey is just getting started, and I'll be here every step of the way. Sleep well, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next video.